think that is going to just be about it. That is going to be hard. And we've had Aston Villa versus PSG. Is usually like the Super Cup is usually like the sign that the season has officially begun. But after that, definitely once we get to for Premier League, once we get to the Community Shield, it signals the beginning of serious business. And tomorrow is going to be that Community Shield between Arsenal and Manchester City. And then we know that it's going to be a very interesting one. Definitely not going to be a joke. Both sides have definitely agreed that this is not going to be a fun game. This is not going to be a preseason. This is not going to be a charity match. Both sides have agreed that we are going to be, up to something, and of which we all expect. The past few seasons, it's been a very serious war between Arsenal and Manchester City in the past few seasons. So we all know that right now it's going to be even more serious because Arsenal looks like we've gotten our groove. Now we are at a place where we can compete, where we can do a lot of things as a club. And Manchester City, they are in a phase where they want to maintain their dynasty. They definitely will see it as, oh, what happened the last time was a mistake, and now, please, I need to be quiet. And now is a time for Manchester City to also come back and say, oh, this is our space. Premier League is our home. We've been running it for the past 10, going to 11 years. Technically out of 11 years, we've only had, I think, 2 seasons that Manchester City have not been champions. I think 3 seasons. That is some insane level of control and dynasty right there from Manchester City. And I mean that is some really, really great record. And all done by Pep Guardiola himself. I think one Champions League, if I'm correct. Seven Premier Leagues, FA Cup, Community Shields, and all of that. It's some incredible time. But right now is Arteta's time, and we all agree to that. So let's go through some of the conversations we've been having that has been going on concerning this match, Manchester City versus Arsenal. What will most likely happen? The potential of potentially what could be the end result of that match, and then I'll start from Victor Gyökeres response to the reporter when the reporter said, oh, this is going to be like, it's expected to be like a friendly game. And then he said, Manchester City versus Arsenal friendly. And then you can see right there that this is not, both sides they're not joking. And Arteta too yesterday confirmed it during the press conference, and then he said, hey guys, this is not a friendly game. This is a serious game. It's a trophy. A trophy is on the line. Do you want to go out? Yes, please, I'm on live, please. Okay, all right, please, I don't want you to say anything, or you can go and stay outside. Yeah. Okay, so just keep quiet, be silent, all right? Okay, so Mikel Arteta said yesterday that Arsenal is not. This is not a friendly game for Arsenal. This is a serious game for Arsenal, and of course, everybody wants to compete. Everybody wants to win this game. Everybody wants to have a great beginning to the season, and of course, you will want to have that. And also, Enzo Maresca, is it Maresca now? Maresca also said that, of course, there is a trophy on the table, and when there is a top trophy on the table, your job as a football club is to actually win that trophy. So both sides, like I mentioned earlier, both sides have agreed that this is definitely a it's a serious match and nobody is expecting to play with it. So it's going to be a very interesting match tomorrow. It's going to be a very interesting match. Enzo Maresca said yesterday that Rodri is back. I'm not sure if he's going to be available. Uh, Ateta also mentioned that all the players are back and everybody looks like everybody is fit. Everybody is ready for the match. So I'm expecting we might have some surprises tomorrow. Definitely, Kepa will not be in goal. Hopefully, Kepa will not be in goal for Arsenal. And if he's not in goal, then that means there is a potential that there won't be some unnecessary excuse for Arsenal tomorrow. Because if Kepa is in goal, that means we are, mm, we are at a disadvantage. So tomorrow is going to be Raya's day to start against Manchester City, and if he starts, that is going to be a very good advantage. Declan Rice is back for Arsenal. Bukayo Saka is back for Arsenal. Noni Madueke is back. Merino is back. Odegaard is back. And also Bruno Guimaraes is also back. So it's going to be like a very packed Arsenal team. But also at the end of the day, the manager wants to still test some of these young players, the likes of Ethan Nwaneri, the likes of Max Dauman, Mali Salmon, and all these guys. He still wants to check them and see how they will perform. And I will not be surprised tomorrow if Ateta actually starts our third goalkeeper just to test him. And Ateta can do that. So, and Manchester City, we expect to see the new signing tomorrow. Most likely is going to start, which is what's his name? What's his name now? I've forgotten his name. The new midfielder, the 130 million midfielder signed by uh by Enzo Maresca himself. So it's going to be a very interesting one tomorrow. It's going to be a very interesting one tomorrow. But I just want to touch a little bit about what Ateta said about Ethan Nwaneri going forward. That statement that he made has like raised a point of concern for a lot of Arsenal fan regarding the future of Ethan Nwaneri. When he was asked, what are the plans that he has for him, he went ahead to say that you know they definitely would have to consider what is best for both sides, which is implying that what is best for Ethan and what is best for Arsenal. So if it is to stay, then if what he's saying is implying that if Ethan is going to stay, that implies that Arsenal will have to guarantee him playing time. So if that playing time is not going to be there is a possibility that Ethan Nwaneri will be going out, will be getting sold. Personally, as an Arsenal fan, I do not want Ethan to leave the club. So, but the conversation now is, if Ethan is not going to leave, will he have the time? To be honest, that midfield is packed. Ethan will not have time to play in that midfield. We all know that. There's Merino, there's Bruno Guimaraes, there's Declan Rice, there is Martin Odegaard, there is Eze. I didn't even mention Eze the first time. Eze also is back. There is Eze. All these people are on the team. And Ethan, very interesting player. Very interesting player. But to be honest, he is not at that level yet where we can keep him in the team. To be honest, even for community shields, for FA Cups, for other local cups in England, I am not sure that Ethan Nwaneri will have that time, will have the playing time. Because so if Ethan starts, what do you want to do with Bruno Guimaraes? What do you want to do with Merino? What do you want to, except for the case of injury? If you have injury, definitely you can say that of course Ethan would start. But without injury, I honestly doubt it. Without injury, I don't think Ethan will actually have a playing time in that team. To be very honest, let's quite be honest with ourselves. Ethan Nwaneri will not have that time. He won't have the time to play in that team, to be honest. And that would really hurt his development. It needs time as a growing player. You need time. You really need time uh to go ahead and do your stuff and develop. We can see the reason where everybody's talking about Mali Salmon now. The reason why everybody's talking about Mali Salmon is because Mali Salmon is been given the opportunity. Ateta is giving him the chance, the opportunity to grow. You split Champions League, you split Premier League, you split FA Cup. He has had the time to actually blend with the team, and potentially it could be one of the addition uh to the senior team this season. And that is going to be the same thing, the same pattern for Ethan Nwaneri. So if Ethan Nwaneri is not going to have the time to play, if he's not going to be starting, if he's not going to have the chances to play in Champions League, play in FA Cup and all of that, I think we should let him go on a loan. And if we are going to sell him, we have to sell him like we're selling him like Madrid do business. I've mentioned it on my channel before. The way Madrid, the way they run their business is, if they're selling the player, they put a thread on that player. They put a buyback clause. They put an advantage, a kind of advantage for themselves, so that if that player blows up and probably they're making another transaction in the future, they get to make something out of it. So I think if we are considering selling Ethan Nwaneri, I think that is what we should actually we should consider doing. We can't just, Ethan Nwaneri is a player that has an immense amount of potential. Is extremely talented. There's a lot of things that it can become in the future, and of which has already even started that future now. But if that time would not be there for him, let's let him go on alone. I would not advise that we sell Ethan Nwaneri, because that might be a very dangerous decision. And I would not advise that we sell Ethan Nwaneri to Manchester United or Chelsea, because I'm seeing Chelsea wants to sign. They're trying to sign Ethan Nwaneri. Manchester United is trying to sign uh Luis Kelly. Those making those decisions might end up hurting the team at the end of the day. So for Ethan, let him go on a loan him to Fulham, to Brentford, to Wolves, to Nottingham. Let him go and get that experience. And next season, of course, we can now, start talking about finding a way to integrate him. Then we might be talking about selling Zubimendi, because Zubimendi is looking like he's almost on his way out. Chelsea is after Zubimendi. Real Madrid is considering Zubimendi. All this stuff is going on. So by next season, that space will still be there for Ethan to actually come into the team. And, it's going to be a very big advantage to us now. So, yeah, right there, selling Ethan Nwaneri, for me, bad choice, bad decision for us now. If we do that, that means we have caught ourselves short. And I will not advise that. So Manchester City versus Arsenal, what are we expecting? For Arsenal, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you expecting to see? What are you expecting to see? For me, I'm expecting a game that will not just be a charity game, of which, as always, the Community Shield is usually, it is not. It might be a charity game. The proceedings might be for charity, but in reality, in the Premier League in England, the Community Shield is not. It's going to be played in Wembley, and if a game is played in Wembley, a local game in England, for that matter, is a serious game. Is a serious business. And at the phase for Arsenal being at the phase that we just won the Premier League. Now we are going into the season trying to reclaim who we are. Definitely, Arteta does not want to start with a bad game. Right? Arteta does not want to start with a bad game. Everybody wants to start with something good. Everybody wants to start with victory. So I really see a very, very interesting game tomorrow. I really see a very interesting game tomorrow. I'm expecting Bruno Guimaraes to start. Hopefully, maybe not Declan Rice. Declan Rice definitely would not start. Even though Ateta mentioned yesterday that uh, everybody looks fit. Madueke looks fit. Uh, Declan Rice looks fit. Bukayo Saka looks fit. But then, even because they are fit, even though they are fit, you don't expect them to be in, you don't expect them to be in the starting lineup tomorrow. Maybe maybe later in the game they might come in, but and also for Manchester City, I don't expect to see people like players like Rodri and all of that. They're not going to be in the game. So uh, we're most likely going to see test out players, Max Dauman, uh, and also maybe Jeremy Doku for Manchester City, the player they hijacked from Arsenal. So it's gonna be pretty much interesting for both sides. It's gonna be pretty much interesting for both sides. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. What are you expecting to see uh in Arsenal versus Manchester City tomorrow? I am expecting a very interesting match. I'm expecting a very tough match. Uh, at that matter, I'm expecting a very, very tough match. And as we move into the the closing time of the transfer window, there is a lot going on, which might tomorrow, whatever happens tomorrow, I feel for both teams will also have an impact on the outcome of the transfer window because Arsenal is still in search for a winger. Arsenal is still in search for an attacker. You know, we're talking about Victor Gyökeres to I said Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen rather to from Galatasaray, wanting to do a swap business. Between Martinelli, Waneri, and Osimhen. So uh, Arsenal is still out there, still trying to buy players. Kwanzaa, both Kwanzaa. But on the radar for Arsenal. So tomorrow's game is going to be is going to make a statement on whether these teams would go ahead to actually get more players. Uh, if the defense sounds good, if Mosquera performs well tomorrow, definitely maybe Arsenal might tone down. But I don't want Arsenal to tone down on signing any player. I don't want them to tone down because we will be playing. We'll be playing in four or five competition. We have the FA Cup, we have the Carabao Cup, we have the Champions League, we have the Premier League. So it's going to be pretty much a very interesting one at that. So we are definitely going to be we are going to need a very stocked, team, a team with depth. So depending on Mosquera, might just not be a really good idea. Might not be a good idea, to be honest. And I'm hoping that whatever happens tomorrow between Manchester City and Arsenal does not impact the players that we sign. Even though yesterday Mikel Arteta mentioned that Jurgen Timber is progressing well on the pitch, though he still needs a few more weeks of recovery. So I'm expecting Arsenal to still go out and still get more players, even though from what I'm seeing, that Jurgen Timber will definitely be available in a very short time. It might even be available in the first or second week of resumption of the Premier League. But then we still need that depth. Arsenal still need to go out there and get players. Go out there and get players. William Saliba, everybody knows that is a very, very long term, not a very long term, that is a long term injury which might take about 4 to 5 months. Hopefully it's not up to that, because we've been seeing Saliba and some Rose, and in some beach somewhere around the world. So I'm hoping that Rose is trying to get that back straight. I'm hoping that Rose is trying to get that back straight for us because we are going to actually need him. Yesterday, Ateta emphasizes that the club has big ambition to evolve and to improve the squad. True, though he declined to comment on specific transfer targets. And of course, Ateta will always tell you that, you know, he's not going to talk about other players. When he was asked about Konsa and asked about, was impressed during the preseason, but Ateta stresses that he needs to play regularly to continue his development. So, uh, yeah, I've mentioned that. I've mentioned that before. It needs to continue playing. There is an immense amount of competition in that in the team right now. So if you are going to if you are going to, you know, get your place in that team, you're going to have to work so hard. You're going to have to work so hard. And we have fantastic players. Even the academy player for Arsenal, even academy players are insanely good. Like really, really good. So what do you expect? What do you expect? Everybody will need to put in their best and, claim your seat and do your best to be able to get into the team. Ateta also spoke about Pep Guardiola yesterday, and he spoke very highly of him, of which, of course, you expect that. Uh, Guardiola gave him his first opportunity to be an assistant coach, and then he evolved from there, learnt a lot from Pep Guardiola, learnt a lot, even though Ateta has been able to, grow his own way of playing. He has his own way of seeing football. He has his own way of seeing the game. But we all can tell. We all can tell. Hey, I'm seeing uh hello, I'm seeing someone here saying hey. So we all can tell that, I mean, Ateta has already built his own way of playing. But then we can still all know or see that it took a lot of things from Pep Guardiola. It took a lot of things, and which is why at the end of the day, it was difficult for even Pep Guardiola to beat him. It was very difficult for Pep Guardiola to beat him. So, um, it paid the very serious homage to Pep Guardiola, but then he also mentioned that Enzo Maresca is also an incredible, incredible, coach. I mentioned what he did before he went to Leicester City. He was a backroom staff at Manchester City. Then he went to Leicester City, then left Leicester City, went to Chelsea, and in Chelsea, guess what he did? Won the Club World Cup. He won the Club World Cup, and from there, a fight came between him and Chelsea. Allegedly because he knew he was going to take the the Manchester City job. So a fight came up, resigned, and then signed for Manchester City. So he Maresca is a coach who he has done some interesting things during his time as a coach. As a coach, he has done some pretty much interesting. Don't forget that he actually beat PSG when PSG was actually in town. When PSG was I mean, they've been the club to beat for the past 2 seasons now in the Champions League in Europe. So, but then he has proved to everybody that as a person he can actually do the job, which is why I think Manchester City just went ahead and got him. So, uh I'm very, very optimistic about Maresca. As an Arsenal fan, I hope he won't give Ateta a lot of stress like that, because this is the time for Arsenal to have our own dynasty, and we are going to have it. No, if whether Maresca is there, Alonso is there, whatever everybody's doing, this is the time for Arsenal to have our own dynasty, and we will. Nothing will stop us. Nothing is going to stop Arsenal from actually dominating the Premier League and actually even dominating England and dominating dominating Europe. Because if you look at it, for after 8 years, Arsenal went back to the Champions League and they got to the quarterfinal, and they got to the I think we got to the semi-final. Okay, we got to the quarterfinal, we got to the semi-final, and then we got to the final. So ev- everything is pointing to the fact that Arsenal is actually going to dominate from this season. Arsenal is actually going to dominate Europe. So uh I'm expecting a very tough season ahead. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you expecting tomorrow? Tomorrow, let me put this up. Potential starting lineup tomorrow. Potential starting lineup for Arsenal tomorrow. Potential starting lineup for Arsenal tomorrow. Okay. All right. So predicted Arsenal face Manchester City tomorrow, Sunday 16, 2026 at 3 p.m. local time. In the FA Community Shield, Principality Stadium in Cardiff. Oh, the match is not going to be played in Wembley. I thought it was going to be played in Wembley. Okay, Principality Stadium in Cardiff. Mikel Arteta's potential starting lineup features David Raya in goal with defensive Ben White, Christian Mosquera, Magalhaes, and Pierre Nkapi. So let's see the starting lineup for tomorrow. Potential starting lineup, by the way. Potential starting lineup, by the way. You guys are still sitting on the street, but then you're not saying nothing. Hello? Okay. Hi, welcome back. But this is not the best. This is not the best audio I could get. So I'm going to change it. I am going to change this. You guys can hear me now, I guess. Thank you for sticking. Thank you for sticking around. My mic was muted and I didn't know. I think it was. Oh, it was when I did this. It was when I did this. Well, thank you guys. I mean, I wish someone had mentioned in the comment section that my audio was not coming out. I wish someone has mentioned, but everybody seems to be having fun with phone. Goshen, please. I was mentioning my name. Please, can you go to the sitting room? I'm going to drive your car. Well, guys, this might actually just be the end of the stream. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys. Man, I'll see you guys later.